their God. Corruption runs deep where justice is fraud. Kids torn like roots from the ground. In this storm our voice is loud. Steel drums clash, lightning fills the air. Won't sit silent, breathe despair. Tide's turning, we bring the flame. Burn their system, break the game. Stand up, heads high, screaming tonight. Rights ain't paper, they burn but fight. Chains of their greed won't hold us long. Through their lies we'll prove them wrong. Constitution bleeding, pages unfurled. Freedom crushed by their darkened world. We're warriors, we're writing a new creed. No backing down, planting the seed. Stand up, heads high, screaming tonight. Rights ain't paper, they burn but fight. Chains of their greed won't hold us long. Through their lies we'll prove them wrong. Constitution, bleeding pages unfurled. Freedom crushed by their darkened world. We're warriors, we're writing a new creed. No backing down, planting the seed.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, God damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids, pictures held up by thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosperity. prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen away to orphans. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop.
Whoa. Oh, there he is. There's the little man himself. Hey, little dude. What's up, buddy? There he is. Baby Shark, Baby Shark, Baby Shark. Sing Baby Shark song. Come on. You can do it.
Yeah, you see Darren?
Thumbs up, buddy.
Yeah,
Here we
you
are.
see you.
Here we are. Thumbs up, buddy.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. No, he said no.
No thumbs up. Man, he's funny too. I thought that it was earlier when you told me that story. I thought you meant him. I'm like, whoa, Lord Almighty, already.
No, I was talking about the older one.
Oh boy, I know that, but man, oh man. So there he is in the flesh. Look at him go. He's gonna be a big boy. He's gonna be a linebacker. Bouncy baby, bouncy shark, bouncy shark, bounce, bouncy shark. Darren, stop egging him on. Oh man.
Okay, sit down. Sit down. All I need for him to do is jump in midair, because he'll jump right off this thing in midair.
I was waiting for you to vomit. That's what I thought. Man, oh man. Did you know? Let me see here. So our nation has consistently maintained that parents possess a fundamental right to raise their children as they see fit. This belief has been upheld in numerous Supreme Court cases that reflect the American people's longstanding commitment to parental rights. The excerpts below are drawn from key Supreme Court cases protecting the right of parents to raise their children. The principles below are referred to as parental rights doctrine. And it's got a list of this bunch of the cases: Meyer versus the state of Nebraska, Pierce versus Society of Sisters, Prince versus Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Ginsburg versus New York, Wisconsin versus Yoder, Cleveland Board of Education versus LaFleur, Moore versus East Cleveland, Smith versus Organization of Foster Families, Quilloin versus Walcott, Parham versus JR, Santosky versus Kramer, Reno versus Flores, Washington and Glucksburg, and Troxville and Granville.
Send that to me, because I've been looking for that. I have it somewhere, but you've seen my file cabinets.
Yeah, this comes from the Parental Rights Foundation.
Oh, speaking of them,
That's right. There you go, Tiff. Way to work that one. Very nice.
I am so excited. So the Parental Rights Foundation, which is parentalrights.org, are here in Virginia. They're 15 to 20 miles from me.
Circleville?
The president lives in Frederick County, Virginia, same place I live, and we've been communicating back and forth. And I sent him the flyer today for my rally, and he's gonna be there. Oh.
Yeah, that's exciting. That is real exciting. That's good stuff. I hope everybody else that can join will join. But check this out. You guys definitely need to check out their website. This is pretty cool. Just to even open their website, it's pretty awesome. This just starts right here. And it goes down and it talks about how this court has long recognized that freedom of personal choice in matters of marriage and family life is one of the liberties protected by due process clause. But it goes down and it tells you all of these. I mean, there's a lot of information. But yeah, that man is going to be there.
Yep.
So make sure you guys check that out. Parentalrightsfoundation.org. What is it? Percival, it says?
Percival.
Percival, Virginia.
Yep.
Box 90. Yep. So make sure you guys check their website out. And let's see here. Yeah,
I'm
that's
going to
their.
see when I talk to him on Sunday. I want to see if he'll come on the show sometime.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome, huh?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let's see what happens on Sunday when I meet him. I've never
yeah,
physically met him, but I know that he lives in the same county as me, and he does it on a national level, not on like a state level. So, and you sign up for emails, and you will get emails from them on updates of what's going on all around the country.
yeah. Here's the link right there. I just put that in the thing in the little chat for you guys, so you guys can. I don't know if this light's really doing me any justice, is it? I know that they said it's handsome, but I don't think the light's doing me much, other than making me look like police cars chasing me. There we go.
Not police cars, Darren.
Yes, yes, yes. Which hopefully we'll be getting rid of those soon with this Trump actions that's going on. I mean, what's going on? We got all kinds of things going on in the world, but how come no one talks about CPS?
I don't know.
That's just
Maybe
trying to be.
RFK hasn't gotten to it yet.
Maybe he's saving the best for last, right?
Hey,
I mean, that could be what.
maybe.
I mean, I hate to. Maybe they're just got. They found that room in the. What did you hear that? They found that room, that secret vault there in the. Uh, um. Oh. Um. They found that vault in like the Hoover building or something that had all kinds of secret documents and things that they had been hiding and all types of stuff like that. So they're in there doing that. Looks like RFK is busy with the vaccine advisory, huh?
Oh yeah, because he fired all of them.
Yeah, looks like it's.
So now he's got to hire a couple of them, new
Yeah,
ones.
yeah. To restore the public trust in vaccines, says. So that's good.
So let me tell you what else happened today. So
Mhm.
somebody local has been posting on our event page. So I reached out to him, and I actually talked to him today, and he was like, "So what's going on up there?" And I said, "Well, Winchester is telling parents not to show up at my rallies." And he posted a whole thing and put them on notice today that they better stop threatening
Yeah,
parents.
yeah.
And he's going to speak. He's going to be there. And he actually has his own website too. I don't have it up. I don't know if Darren can pull it up.
I'm
But
down.
he does he advocates more for children. Like the next friend thing that we
Mhm.
always talk about, and that we'll be talking about in our seminars and webinars. But that's what he does. So we're definitely going to have to pull him on board, because he definitely put Winchester City and Frederick County, Virginia on notice today that they better stop threatening the people and just leave them alone.
Yeah. Huh. Hey, guess what? For your state of West Virginia, get this. Governor Morrissey directs overworked and understaffed CPS workforce to do better without more resources. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so he put them all on blast. I seen it, and he said, "Don't." I think he should start doing that on a national level. Don't you think? Like just
Well,
every
he's
state.
working on one. He's
Oh, is he?
working on one that will be it'll be like a blueprint, he said, for
Yep.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're gonna bring him on Tuesday. I think Monday. I think Monday he's coming on.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That'll be awesome to talk to him. Uh,
He's a lot like Adrian.
oh, is he? That's cool. They're very, very easy to get along with then. Um, let's see. What else we got here? Oh, New York lawmakers passed a bill to ban anonymous CPS hotline reports.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, that's another one. I mean, we need to start pushing that stuff to our, our local legislators and stuff too. Same damn thing. Stop that. You know what I mean? Um,
So I'm wondering why executive order. Oh God, I don't even see the number. But the I don't want to say it wrong. I think it's CWSA, social worker or something. They're so worried about this one executive order that Trump put in place. And I'm not understanding why. It's stopping the waste, fraud, and abuse and eliminating information ISLOS or ISILOS. I know I said it wrong. Here, I'm going to send it to you. This came across my newsfeed. I said, why are they so worried about that?
hmm, I don't understand it at all. I didn't even understand what you said, to be honest.
Well, I just sent it to you in your email.
All right, we'll get this one. Now, here's a question for everybody. I'm going to read this article. And is this a reason for CPS involvement or what? But over 80 children were placed in protective custody after the Louisa County Sheriff's Office and other agencies conducted a child safety operation, served search warrants on 2 locations where they were attending camp. The Sheriff's Office of the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services, Child Protection Services, Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation, and Columbus Junction Police Department conducted a safeguard child protective custody operation and search warrants at 1043 1Q Avenue, Columbus Junction, and 1101 5th Avenue, Columbus Junction, on June 12th and 13th. The operation was based on information and reports of child abuse and endangerment, according to the Post. The agencies took protective custody of 88 children who were attendees of the Kingdom of Ministry of Rehab and Recreation and the Shekinah Glory Camp. The children were taken to the Wapello Methodist Church to meet with child protective staff and wait to be reunited with parents or guardian. The investigation is ongoing. The Wapello Methodist Church, Wapello Community Ambulance, and Wapello Community School Food Pantry and multiple local volunteers assisted with caring for the children. Okay, so that all being said, why did they call CPS about that?
Yeah,
You know
why?
you
Why?
understand what's coming down next, right? You know what's coming down the pike, don't you? That all these parents are going to be held responsible for sending their kids to daycare. Guarantee you. Because why do they need to? It says to meet with child protection staff and then wait to be reunited with parents. First of all, these are all kids, so why are they being questioned without their parents being there?
And why are they waiting to be reunited with their parents?
I'm assuming that it's maybe a daycare or a day camp or something. Maybe that's my assumption, or maybe they get sent there. I don't know. It
Oh,
doesn't say much more.
it's a camp. It's a camp.
That's at
Saw that.
camps, right? So, but it says here, uh, yeah. Why are they questioning them about? Why are they questioning these kids? You know what I mean? This is definitely you're going to see some more on this. You're definitely going to see some more on this. They're going to grab up these parents. You watch. Bet my. You ain't asking these people about what's going on at these camps. They're asking these people what's going on at home.
And CPS does not interview children, they interrogate children. Let's get it for real.
Yeah. Yep.
And they tell them,
Why aren't the police the ones being questioned? Because it says right here, the children are being taken to the Wapello Methodist Church to meet with child protection staff and wait to be reunited with parents or guardians. Well, if this is a criminal investigation, why are the police not involved in this? Why aren't they questioning these kids?
somebody just said those kids are in CPS custody now. Oh my God, I hope not.
You're probably absolutely right. You are probably absolutely damn right. No doubt about it. This is what they're going to do now.
My kids.
You can't get enough kids at these houses. They can't get enough of these kids at home. But now they're going to start doing this. You watch. They're going to start raiding these day camps and all of this, and they're going to start grouping these up. And they're going to say that the parents start paying enough attention to them, and they're this or that, or like whatever it is. They're going to come up with excuses of why they're taking these kids. You watch.
Okay, so Darren, we grew up in a whole different generation, right? Like we was allowed to play outside till the street lights came on.
Yeah, right.
We went to camp. Me and my sister used to go to summer camp for 2 or 3 weeks every year.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. We can't stop letting kids be kids. We just can't.
Right. I'd be curious. I mean, because I've just like you, I've been to some Boy Scout camps. I've been to some camps that, you know what, you're probably right. You shouldn't, maybe you shouldn't allowed your kid to go there. But you know what? That's how you grew up. You know what? We drank from hoses. It was fine. You know, like we did that. We swam in dirty water. It was fine. You know, we played with lighters and we smoked cigarettes when we were 10. It was fine. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you got to let these kids be kids, you know, and they got to stop, you know, like they're putting these kids so that they don't even go outside anymore. They play freaking video games and that's their world. Their world has become a point of view video game. You know, I don't even think the kids understand what a map with a rain shower looks on it anymore, do they? Or do they even understand what the weatherman's saying? Because they don't care because they're not going outside.
Well, I will tell you this. The oldest one is out of school right now. We were outside today. He goes, "Oh, it's hot out here."
Yeah. You don't keep getting hot, too. Better get used to it.
I said, if you think it's hot today, wait till next week with the heat index over 105 here.
Woo. Man.
Yeah. So we have to let kids be kids. We do.
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely have to. We definitely have to because we're driving them into
Isolation.
yeah. Which is what? That's what they want. They want to isolate. You know? It's really it's a bad situation that we're gunning down these roads for. It really is. It's not a good place that we're trying to put these kids to. And then if you try to parent them, CPS comes to your house. Or if you try to get them to do something, then you try to you know, they'll call CPS. I mean, it's so bad now that kids can call CPS, you know? So it's getting just to be out of control a bit.
I remember King came home from like the 3rd week in school and I made him mad. He said, "I'm going to call the police on you." I said, "Well, I tell you what, when you call the police on me, you better tell them to bring the National Guard and the Army and the Navy when they come."
Yeah.
That's what I told him.
I used to say this. I'd say, "You're going to call them on me? Don't forget, it takes them about 5 minutes to get here." Oh, man. Oh, I'd be curious to what. There's a video on here that it says investigating America's overwhelmed child welfare system.
Is there a video? Put it up.
All right, let's see what this guy has to say about this. I'm very see what this guy has to say.
And these boys are about to tee off with their dentist.
And as strange as all this might seem, this is the start of my journey in the search for clues to fix America's broken child welfare system.
Hey, keep watching.
There are currently more than
7 million children. The child welfare system
is in crisis right now.
Okay, the child welfare system is huge and complex.
It's everything from making sure that children are safe in their home to removing children in cases of abuse and neglect.
But for a lot of people, it's like a black box. Most people know it's in trouble, but they're afraid to look inside, and so they don't know how to help. Today, we're going across the country to talk to experts who are trying big ideas.
The foster system is the most strategic place for systemic change in our country.
We want to see what happens to those 400,000 kids who get entered into the foster care system.
I'm looking to answer 2 questions. Why are so many kids entering the system? And what can we do to fix it?
How do we have fewer children going into foster care?
There is this whole opportunity of the community to get involved.
Bring it in, baby! Angelina!
This is not a problem for the government to solve. This is a problem for me and you to love our neighbor and work with bottom-up solutions.
The child welfare system is a complicated, maybe even uncomfortable topic. But if we're gonna make it better, we have to talk to people closest to the problem. So let's jump in.
Parents of almost every child are trying to adjust to a new set of circumstances and relationships.
Before we do anything else, we need to hear from kids experiencing foster care.
If you've been through more than 5 homes, raise your hand. What do you think somebody on the outside wouldn't understand about what you've gone through and what you've experienced?
Well, if you never experienced it, like I said before, it's really scary, not knowing where you're going.
You're not guaranteed to stay with your siblings. There is a good chance you will, be removed from your siblings.
This is Ashton, Caden, and Jaden, and they know what's broken better than most experts.
Some parents aren't fully equipped to take on other kids, and that's understandable. Just if you can't take on the kid, maybe it's not a good idea to bring one in because then it wouldn't work out.
Child welfare is supposed to protect and care for kids, but studies have shown that 90% of children will experience severe trauma after entering the system.
81% will be incarcerated, and 25% will attempt suicide.
But
stay with me, because I just might have uncovered the key to finally addressing these downstream problems. Okay, in researching this story, the first thing I learned is just how massive and overburdened the system is. Try and imagine it like a funnel. At the top, you have millions of reports made to child welfare agencies impacting over 7 million children. After that, Child Protective Services will make their recommendations about what they think is best for the child. If a child is removed from their home, they'll typically spend up to 2 years separated from their parents. And 65% of these children will remain in long-term foster care, which means we'll need hundreds of thousands of homes to safely take them in. Look, I'm a parent, and I can't imagine being separated from my kids.
But here's something scary that I learned about the kids at the top of the funnel. 76% of all child welfare cases are due to accusations of neglect. And the problem is the definition of neglect is pretty open to interpretation. And in many states, it's barely defined. But it's all the government needs to remove a child from their home.
So it's not always a safety issue. What I learned is this is usually a poverty issue, and I needed someone to break it down for me. So my producer Devin and I loaded up our car and headed to Brooklyn, New York to meet a lawyer working on the front lines of helping these very families.
The biggest misconception that people have is that most families that are in the child welfare system are there because the parents abused or abandoned or somehow don't love their children. And that just could not be further from the truth. In New York, 90% of cases are allegations of neglect, which are frequently and inextricably intertwined with conditions of poverty.
This is David Shalek-Klein, the founder of the Family Justice Law Center.
And he's been on a mission to protect families because he's witnessed the connection between neglect and poverty firsthand.
When I was in law school, I remember walking down this sidewalk, very first courthouse I walked into, and I saw families cramped onto benches with children screaming, mothers and fathers clutching onto their children for dear life. And as these families were called one by one, I heard stories of parents not having enough food, of not having clothes for their children. I was expecting those stories of abuse and abandonment, and instead what I saw were situations rooted in conditions of poverty.
As hard as it was to hear about families struggling with poverty, part of me still wondered why separation wasn't a practical option for these situations. So I had to ask.
If a child isn't getting what they need from their parents, why isn't it better for them to go into foster care for a little while those parents, recuperate?
When you look at child outcomes of children who enter foster care versus children who stay home, just on every single metric, it's materially worse. What every single expert said is that children fundamentally do better when they're with their parents, when they're with their siblings, when they're with their aunts and uncles, and rooted in the community and culture with which they were born into and loved by.
David believes that because of the broad legal definition of neglect, almost any family struggling with poverty can be at risk of losing their children.
So David's fighting back on behalf of several families he's represented with his own lawsuit.
This litigation is about human dignity. This is about families being able to live freely without the coercive action of an enormous and powerful government intruding in their lives when it's not absolutely necessary. Sometimes do children need to be separated from their parents? Yes, but that should be the last possible solution. Instead, we need to think about how can we help these parents address the conditions of poverty or housing or food insecurity or whatever the case may be so they can keep children at home. Because what study after study after study shows is that there is an enormous cost to children when you separate them from their parents, not just in the moment, but long term.
The reason why what David's doing is important is because preventing unnecessary separations of children from their parents will make sure we have more resources available to support the hundreds of thousands of children that are placed in foster care. But David's story got me thinking, if poverty is a huge factor for why kids enter the child welfare system, what can we do to help the thousands of families who are at risk or have already been separated from their children in these cases of neglect?
One solution I learned about is an interesting idea that might remind you more of a ride-sharing app.
To learn more, we traveled to Kansas City, Missouri to meet Adrian Lewis, the founder of Care Portal. So Adrian, what do I need to know to understand the foster care system better?
There are horrible things that happen to children that should never happen to anybody. And those kids need to be removed. But the majority of the time, parents want to provide for their kids, but they couldn't because of the circumstances related to poverty.
Adrian created an app called Care Portal to connect struggling families at risk of separation due to neglect with supportive people and communities that can offer help.
World-class platforms like Airbnb and Uber and Amazon, they have fundamentally changed how people think about travel and transportation and shopping. But in the social sector, that type of innovation hasn't been at play. But we're changing that. We just need an easy way to connect so that people can make a difference. Care Portal's in position to make it so that every community has businesses and churches and government working together on behalf of the community itself.
Adrian's app sends out notifications on behalf of families in need. Then volunteers and churches have the opportunity to respond with basic needs and relationship support. When they're getting alerts in on their phone, what is really their role?
So every request that comes into Care Portal is vetted by a caseworker. So when the church responder gets that request, all they have to do is say, can I help in this moment? And if they say, yes, I can provide that bed, or I can provide that crib, or I can provide transportation, or whatever it is, they hit submit, and that caseworker and that responder from the church, they get connected up. Everything we need is there.
Care Portal has been a massive success.
It's currently in 35 states and has served over 300,000 kids and their families.
And is projected to serve over 1 million people in the next 5 years, which is transformative for families that have been separated from their children. And now Adrian's group is racing to expand access to families beyond the foster care system and helping the communities most struggling with poverty, a support network he calls Care Sharing.
This moment of crisis often opens the door to long-term relationships that are actually the thing that help people sustain quality of life. And so we have the chance now to revolutionize the way that people care for their neighbors. It's happening in communities all across the country, and it could happen in every community if more people got themselves involved.
So if Care Portal is effective and we're able to keep kids reunited with their families because of community support, that just leaves our last group over here. So this group consists of children who have entered the foster care system. And what I learned that's an amazing stat is that 50% of these families will quit after 6 months. So what can we do to help families that choose to foster a child? The answer to that question brought me to Austin, Texas to meet Susan Ramirez and her org, National Angels. I am so excited for us to get the opportunity to meet Susan face to face.
I am so thankful and excited that we are here today.
What is everyone here to do today?
So everybody is here getting ready for our big annual back to school event.
Susan is a former foster parent that found out firsthand just how difficult it can be to create a family out of thin air.
50% of foster care families shut their doors after 6 months. Why is that? What are they going through?
The reason why most parents will decide I can't do this is because it's so hard, because you feel so isolated, because you feel so alone in this, because you are not given the resources and tools that you need in order to care for children.
So she created National Angels, an organization that's designed to help foster families stay together.
To give them the tools and the resources and really the relationships to walk alongside them.
And it's already in 19 cities across the country.
So we started here in Austin, Texas, and we have 19 pins that represent every regional chapter that we have.
So what exactly does National Angels do? To find out, we met with Patrick, the adoptive dad of the 3 boys I met playing basketball earlier.
Let's go.
It's not just the life issues that you have, it's your kids' life issues. And if, I have 4 kids and they each have their own issues going on every day, it's hard, it hurts, but there is a lot of reward in that.
Patrick began fostering 4 years ago. That's when a social worker put his family in touch with National Angels.
So if we identify that a family has certain needs or wishes or desires and we meet that, the whole idea is that we're doing it consistently. It's like, you said you need this, we're gonna show up over and over and over again.
They will support you. They will come in and ask you, what do you need? How can we help you?
But it's not just material support. The key is the relationships. National Angels pairs volunteers with foster families and children experiencing foster care in order to help provide even more support, which is how Patrick and his kids formed an unlikely bond with a local dentist, bringing us back to where we started.
So at a minimum, our volunteers will be a part of a family's life through our research, about 3.4 years in a formal setting. But the idea is that we're creating relational permanence.
No masters.
What have you learned through going through this process about the importance of strong relationships, strong family?
When I think about the reasons that made me who I am today, it's the support I got from family first and from people that I met along the way and treated me like family. So this is what I try to give Patrick and the boys.
Dr. Hamzi has been walking alongside Patrick and his family for 4 years now.
What's the biggest difference that having Dr. Hamzi and his family in your life has led?
You don't sink, you're there, they're helping you. They come by every month checking up on us and guide you. It's a big advantage.
It feels like an actual home. It feels like we've known each other for our whole lives.
I'm talking radical community. That's what changes foster care. It is the relationship. We are in this together so that the child can stay in placement until they've either created permanency or they go back to the biological family or they get adopted.
Patrick has been able to adopt 3 boys out of the foster care system. And today, his family is attending a National Angels Back to School event to support 200 families like his.
We are going to impact over 500 people today. So little things like brand new backpacks and school supplies that they get to pick and choose.
11.5-inch binder, check.
Yeah. We believe that every single child should have at least one healthy adult who knows the color of their eyes and the passions of their heart. Because we believe that foster care should not be an identity, it is just an experience, and we believe that in their future they can be unstoppable.
So this is a happy ending, but I should also point out that I've been working on this story for over 6 months. And personally, there have been a lot of difficult moments. I've met several people in the child welfare system who have had heartbreaking experiences. But I've also learned a lot from the experts that I spoke to. First, every family situation is unique, and so each one requires a personal solution. And secondly, we shouldn't wait on someone else to help, even those problems that look too big to solve. These leaders are proving that the key to fixing our child welfare system is local relationships at every stage to ensure that these families have the community support they need. Here's how Adrian puts it.
When 2 humans who otherwise didn't know each other can get connected around a moment of need, they have the power of creating something special that's like an explosion of life, an explosion of love, an explosion of courage and humility and people seeing each other in ways they didn't see each other before. Because it's those meaningful connections that change the path of people's lives. And we end up being a far stronger community because of it.
Stand together partners with change makers tackling our biggest challenges. If you were moved like I was learning about the child welfare system,
You should check out Care Portal and National Angels and find out how you can get involved and help children and families in your community.
Well, what'd you think of that, Tiff?
Well, I tell you what, he probably got the numbers better correct than we ever got them.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But, you know, like, did you see that abuse and neglect, the neglect thing? There it is. It's neglect, neglect, neglect. So why is it so hard for our Congress people or the lawmakers to realize that needs to be one of the number one damn things that changes?
I've been saying that for years. I said, though, the neglect and the abuse, those laws are so vague.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can actually tell you what neglect is.
Mm-hmm. It's awful. And there's so many parents out there, like myself, that neglect is the furthest thing that our kids were. But because they came up with that idea and they came up with that they could use that against us, there's so many parents out there that don't deserve to have their kids taken from them. And it's all because of one goddamn word. One word.
Right.
One word separates you from your children. One word that everybody gets to decide what the meaning of it is. They get to use their own interpretation. Everybody in a courtroom has their own different idea of what neglect is. So when you go into that courtroom and they say it's neglect, you have 5, 6, 7 different people trying to make up their minds for your life and for your child's life, which all have different experiences, different expectations, and different everything with the word neglect. They're not going off that one thing. That's it. To think that one word is enough to tear a family apart, to separate a family from their children from the rest of their lives. One word.
Yeah. I'm glad he talked to some of the kids, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because these kids will see 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Most of them, I think the average is 30. Brad Wilson asked a good question. What would your definition of neglect be? What would be your definition?
Who, me?
Yeah, what would you say neglect would be?
Well, neglect to me is what the law says. The law says you must, as a parent, provide food, clothing, and shelter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when people say that, they're like, "Oh, Tiffany, there's food pantries, there are vouchers, or like we have a place called CCAP here. You can go down and get clothes. They got men's, women's, and kids' clothes. And shelter, nobody said it had to be 4 walls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how you get it. There's a way to get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what? Neglect is your kid sitting at home 2, 3, 4 days without you being around. You know, like that's neglect. Like you're going out and partying and doing things like that. That's the way I see it. Like your kid doesn't mean as much to you as it should. That's the way I see neglect. You know, if you're living well, if your kids, you know, they're fine, because you know what? Poverty is not a reason to take a kid. You know, people run into, see, the problem is that CPS is supposed to fix all the problems that they come in and say that you have. That's supposed to be what happens. They're supposed to be like heroes. They're supposed to be like people coming through and saving, but they don't do that at all. That money goes to other things. What other things? What do we say? $20 billion just vanishes, and just whatever. $20 billion could do a lot for a lot of families that are short money, short things that they need. You know, if they recommend something, they're supposed to pay for it. If they say that you need this, they're supposed to pay for it. That's supposed to be the whole idea behind that system.
And that's what I have a problem with, right? And it's so common sense. They should have drank a V8, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Straighten up now.
Why are you going to foster family money to take care of children, that the money should be going to the parents to take care of the children, not the strangers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. And that's what Deidre just said. Then they put our kids in these foster homes that actually neglect the kids. I mean,
And sexually abuse them.
Right? What did they say? 90%? 90%, he said, or something like that?
90%.
Mm-hmm. It's terrible. You know, so I guess the number one way to fix this thing, if it's going to be fixed and not abolished, is that word neglect needs to be firmed up and it needs to be figured out. That's the number one thing that needs to take care of. Because if that's what's separating, and just like Deidre said, failure to protect also, which is a lame excuse for them to get rid of the other spouse. That's a lame excuse, because a family wouldn't separate. The husband and wife wouldn't separate when they insisted that you did. So
Freedom of religion.
They drop that right on you. It's freaking disgusting. Absolutely, it's absolutely disgusting.
But here again, we got to go back to the Constitution, state and federal, the Bill of Rights, and the Supreme Court, because they all say that is a restraining order against the government, and families have a right to live without government interference. Period.
Yeah.
They said exigent circumstances and imminent danger. Well, if you look them both up, they're similar. There's like one word that's different. Life, limb, or immediate danger. That's what that means.
Right. Like there's not a second to spare because this person is gonna die now.
Right.
That's what it means. Hey, our buddy Brian over here at the Arthur, he's a good dude. He hangs out with the Family Forward Project a lot. He's a good guy. We've interviewed him before. He says the 7th annual Equal Shared Parenting Conference is Sunday, June 29th from 2 to 8, and it's a virtual conference, so everybody can sign up for that.
Well, I need the link.
Yeah, he said on your computer, phone, or other devices via social media platforms. It's a free event. Brian, you could throw that out to us. I'm pretty sure if you could throw that out to us, that where they sign up, that'd be really helpful. We got a lot of people on here. Candace is in here tonight. Hey, Candace. Danielle's watching with us. That's great. Danielle, Classic Mommy. We got a bunch of people in here with us tonight. White man from town. That's funny. No, that was, you know what? That was for a video, that was a completely neutral figure to go and look into the child protective. That was a great, I'm glad that I came across that, because I thought that he was going to come across as some sort of, oh, they're overworked and they're blah, 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 blah. I really did. But all right, but where do we just sign in, or where do we just tune in? He says there's no sign up, you just tune in. But to him to come into this system and to look at it that way, and then to understand that these are the issues right away. And that lawyer from New York, I want to reach out to him, see if we can get him.
Well, I sent you their website because while we were watching it, I went to all 3 websites. So the first, you got all 3 of them in your email.
Oh, it says Mark Ludwig's putting this on, or putting this together. So that's cool. We'll have a chat with him then. Get in touch with
Mark, he needs to come on and do another an update with us too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I'll get in touch with him.
And tomorrow night, Rescue the Fosters is going to be on with us.
Yep, Cynthia's going to be here. I'm going to ask her some tough questions. Put her on the grind, see what she's got to say. I'm really happy that we found that video. I'm really happy that he doesn't have a lot of views too, so if you guys I'll put the link up there actually for that video, so then you guys can send it around. If you need it, you can send it to people, because that's definitely something worth watching, for other people. And they haven't, that's a video that you send to someone that tells you that you're wrong and you don't know about child protective services, or you don't know what like blah 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 blah. That's one of those ones that you can send to them. Say, oh yeah, well, here, watch this. I don't know if it's a series or anything, but no, that made me feel really good to find that. I don't know why, but it gave me that good feeling.
Well, that just tells me too that we're headed in the right direction.
Yep. It's hard. It is hard because a lot of people come at you and they attack you when you try to stand up for this. You're not part of the. You're not part of the flow, I guess, if you will. Like you're looked at as one of the anti. Why are you fighting against this stuff? Why are you doing this? These children need homes. These parents are bad. This is this. And until you experience this yourself, You don't understand. You don't understand. And you can't understand it until you experience it yourself. Like there's nothing to until you feel that heartbreak or that what they do to you and how they compromise you and how you know damn well you didn't deserve what they've done to you. You know, you can't. There's no way of explaining it. There's no way of just actually saying to someone how much it hurts, how much pain you deal with every day, how much you go through. You know, there's no way that you can even possibly make somebody understand.
And when people ask me, well, they're like, well, who are you? I'm like, my name is Tiffany Wise, and I advocate against CPS.
Right.
I make sure I get against real loud up there. Yeah.
Yep. Oh wow, so this is gonna be a big one with Mark Ludwig. Oh shit! If we still had time, I'd bring him in, but we don't have a lot of time. I mean, I guess we got. If you want to come in for a second and just give us a. I don't have my Facebook up, so I can't send you the link. But if you want to hop in here for a second and just give a quick rundown, I definitely welcome you. I'm going to put the link up right here in the message, so you can. We have like 9 minutes left, so if you want to just jump in here real quick and give us the lowdown on what this is, that would be really great. B-Dog, there you go. Click on that and come on in and maybe give us that quick lowdown. Wow, that looks like it's going to be a hell of a conference to have all of that in.
Yeah, there. I think the 29th, is that a Sunday?
Well, the 22nd is a Sunday, so it must be, huh?
I don't know. I'm about to check now.
Well, the 22nd is your rally.
Yeah, I know the 22nd is my rally. Yeah, the 20th, it's a Sunday.
So 7 days. 70, yes, 7 days from that will be another Sunday.
Oh my God! And then Darren, our birthday is the 2nd and the 3rd.
Yeah, that's coming right up too. National Day. All right, our boys in the house here. Brian's in here. Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, we're just doing a little CPS talking here. So what is this? What's what we got? What do you guys got going on?
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get my my video, my camera up.
Yeah, no worries there. We have technical problems quite often here. So more often than not.
Yeah, right. I was getting ready to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's either that or sleeping, one of the two. If there's a reason we're not working well, it's because of technical difficulties or sleeping. Those are the two things that'll hold us back. Anything else?
All right. Well, apparently I can't get my camera on because I had it because I was doing pre-recordings earlier, so I can't get my camera to show. But yeah, on the 29th of June, Mark Ludwig is putting this equal share parenting event on. It's the annual conference that he does every year, where people would have to show up to certain locations, and, for these conferences. Well, this year he's actually doing it live via social media. It's going to be on his Facebook page, his YouTube page, and it's also going to be on RFRN's Twitch page. And it literally, we have over 20 participating organizations, several legislators, family law attorneys, and child psychologist experts are all going to be on here. It's going to be a great event. I've been doing pre-recordings because some of these individuals can't come on Sunday, so they're doing the pre-recordings. And literally, I'm talking about Warren Farrell. I just did one with him and Dodd Hutchins, where Don was actually interviewing Warren Farrell, Dr. Warren Farrell, on his book and a bunch of other stuff. I'm talking about such great information is going to be passed out. Mark Ludwig was actually just in D.C. Literally over the past couple of days. He's on his way back to Illinois right now. But he was at the White House. He was actually inside the White House doing meetings with several different caucuses and stuff like that. So much information is coming out. So many great things are coming down the pipeline. I'm telling you, some of this information you guys are going to be hearing on the 29th is going to be phenomenal. We are all moving in the right direction, guys. I'm telling you, change is coming. I promise you.
What do you got, Brian? What do you got for secret information? What do you know?
I can't release anything just yet, and that's on behalf of Mark. Mark does not want me to release anything, so he wants to wait to share all this on the 29th.
Well, can you say yes or no? Is CPS on the chopping block?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That means yes. That means yes.
But I can say this: that yes, CPS, Title IV, all that was discussed with all of the caucuses that Mark was speaking with over the last couple of days. He said several meetings in the White House. So, like I
Perfect.
said, great things are coming down the pipeline. We got some senators coming on the 29th. We got representatives coming on the 29th, and just amazing individuals. Matter of fact, tomorrow I have 4 recordings to do with 4 different legislators that are going to be participating in this. So we're going to have
Well, you know, we have a rally coming up again on the 22nd that Tiff does live in Virginia, and she's got a lot of she's got a lot of great people that she's got coming. But Brian, maybe you can lend a hand with that and with some resources and things from some people, or some maybe help us with these things that we're doing. So we're doing them once a month. So maybe it's something. I know that you've been kind of out of the loop for a little while, but I know you're ready to come back with a bang. So maybe you can start assisting us in that, and helping us out with some of your resources.
That is definitely a possibility. I'm definitely planning on coming back, hitting the ground running. Right now, I'm still somewhat in the shadows. Like I said, this event on the 29th, this conference, it's all Mark Ludwig. And he reached out to me because he didn't know anybody else that could do this. And with my with my knowledge and skill sets that I have with doing the marathons. But speaking of which, I just posted on my social media page a little bit ago that I will be doing the Christmas marathon again this year.
Oh, cool.
I wasn't able to do it last year because I was still in recovery mode from my e-bike accident, and other factors were involved as well to where I couldn't do it last year. But I will be doing it again this year. I'm hoping to get every organization, every group, every podcaster to join in for this upcoming Christmas marathon. It's going to be a 24-hour marathon.
Well, we'll be there.
It's going to be great.
We'll be there.
Yep.
Darren, send me his Facebook stuff so I can send him a friend's request.
Absolutely.
Yes, I will.
But yeah, no, I'm so looking forward to doing helping Mark with this event on the 29th. Like I said, it's all going to be live. It's a free event. All you got to do is click on Mark Ludwig's Facebook page, go to his YouTube page, and I did post the links, by the way, on ways to watch on the 29th. They are in the it is in the Facebook live that you guys are doing, as well as on the YouTube live. It posts them right there.
Oh, excellent.
They're all right there. It's the Twitch page for RFIRN podcast. It's Mark Ludwig's YouTube channel and his personal Facebook page. So it's going to be an awesome event. I'm so looking forward to it. We know that we're going to go over the 6-hour mark that Mark wants, but he goes, if we have to, we have to. I said, trust me, it's going to.
Right. You can't have a ton of information and just whip it by, Everybody's around it, and I mean, just the amount of people that you just said that you've already recorded, I can't see how you could even keep it under 6 hours.
Well, not only that, we have so Dr. Warren Farrell and Don Hutchkins. We got the Davocate is going to be on there.
Nice.
The We the Parents documentary with McNeese family. Elizabeth and her husband, they're going to be on there. Just so many great individuals in this movement, and I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so blessed to have known Mark as long as I have, and for him to reach out and ask me to do this for him, and it's just he goes, well, we're going to pay you for this. I said, Mark, you don't owe me nothing. This right here is my civic duty to do this. This is what this is my specialty. This is what I do. I'm the behind the scenes guy, and I'm more than willing to help out in any way possible.
Hell yeah, Brian. You're the man, buddy. Awesome. Well, thank you much. We'll keep advertising this stuff. We'll keep putting it out there, and then I'll get Tiff your information, and we'll definitely be in touch.
Awesome.
For sure. Anything we can do for you between any of the shows here on this station, let me know, and we'll make sure we do
Awesome.
it
I appreciate it, brother. And like I said, the Christmas marathon, it will be a 24-hour marathon this year. And I'm just starting now to put it together. Of course, we got to get through the 29th first. And once we get through the 29th, I will really, really be focusing on the Christmas marathon, trying to put that together. I want to try to get as many people to do some pre-recordings as possible because, doing that, it's just going to help be able to coordinate it a little bit better and be less stressful. Trying to get people
Yes.
to tune in for their 20 to 30-minute segment during the day. It's hard to coordinate, make sure everyone is aware of what time they're supposed to be on. So pre-recordings are the best way to go, and I'm planning on doing many with some live interaction conversations as well.
Well, Tiff and the Punisher
Right on,
will
buddy.
definitely do that.
There you go.
Yeah, we're signed up. Put us on the list, buddy. All right, Brian.
All right, appreciate it.
We'll talk to you
All right,
soon,
thank
buddy.
you.
All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Oh yeah, make sure you give me his
Brian.
information.
Yep. No, Brian's a good guy. I've known him for a while now. He's a good dude. He used to have a podcast and everything that they did. He was like one of the first guys that podcasted about the CPS stuff. He's a good dude. But we got a lot of I feel like we got a lot done today.
I think we did too.
We got a lot of reaching out there and good stuff.
And everybody,
So,
please like, subscribe, and share our channel because they are just killing us on YouTube.
They are. So make sure we show them. Make sure we show them. I'm trying to get this thing to work. There we go. Oh, I had it work. There we go. All right, Tiff. Same time, same place tomorrow night. But don't forget, Sylvia Vici will be on the tomorrow night show. It's gonna be good. Don't miss it. We'll see you guys then.
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down, screaming out loud in every town. Stand against the system that's gone insane, fighting like lions, don't feel no pain. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Voices heard, don't tread on me. Taking back rights, we will be free. Constitution in our veins, breaking these chains and claiming gains. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. CPS, stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply. Make parenting great, let's take a stand. Tiff and the Punisher, hand in hand. Hand in hand. CPS, stealing kids, they gotta go. Fight the good fight, let everybody know. We'll raise our fists and say aloud, no more silence, join the crowd. Abolish CPS, their rally cry. No kids for cash, we won't comply.